Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy RedpillCanuck back again with another YouTube video. Shout out to the Canuck squad for being involved and being active on this YouTube channel. And today is Money Monday. Shout out to all the players out there who got their bag in order. Hopefully you all had an awesome weekend. My weekend was very productive because you all know I don't like saying the word busy, because busy doesn't always mean productive. That's right. Y'all know how I do. But yeah, today is Money Monday, so this is the day we focus on our finances and what can affect our wallet. So as you know, or as you heard in the intro, I said today's video. So unfortunately, we're not doing a live stream today, so this has been pre-recorded. But if you still want to support the channel, hit the like button on the way in. It's free, and it doesn't affect your wallet. Also, today's video is sponsored by the Red Pill Canucks Quick Hits channel. We are almost at monetized level. Shout out to the channel, and shout out to all you guys for all your support. So we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So today's topic is, eventually I knew that this was going to come about. Yep. We had a good run, guys. As you know, I'm a big ambassador for cryptocurrency and for digital currency because I believe it is the future, and I believe that it should be peer-to-peer. But today's topic, as you can see scrolling across the screen, by the way, make sure if you follow me on my social media handles, which is actually right beside the scrolling topic. Today's topic is digital currency. Can it be considered a digital leash? Yep, you heard me right. And you guys are probably wondering, some of you out there who are new to the channel or are new to this sort of topic, what is actually cryptocurrency? Which is actually a fair question because not everybody is involved in digital assets. So we're actually going to play a video just to kind of explain what cryptocurrency is. And let me just put it right here. Hopefully this doesn't cut off. And of course, we're going to have to invoke our fair use, good old fair use. Expert to copyrighted material may under circumstance be quoted verbatim for the purpose of criticism, teaching, reporting, and research without any permission or payment to the copyright holder. And shout out to me. I'm actually kind of mastering the I'm kind of mastering the fair use. So there you go. So we're going to get into this video here. It kind of it's a simple explanation what cryptocurrency is. So that way we all get on the same page.
Today, cryptocurrencies have become a global phenomenon known by most people, but understood by few. In 2018, you'll have a hard time finding a major bank, accounting firm, software company, or government that hasn't researched.
By the way, this is actually an older video, but the actual message, it is still valid. So that's why I decided to choose this video.
Cryptocurrencies or started a blockchain project. Beyond the noise and the press releases, many people often fail to understand the basic concepts. So let's walk through the whole story. What are cryptocurrencies? Satoshi invented Bitcoin in 2008 as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. To realize digital cash, you need a payment network with accounts, balances, and transactions. That's easy to understand. One major problem every payment network has to solve is to prevent double spending. That is, to prevent one entity from spending the same amount twice. Usually, this is done by a central server who keeps records of all the balances. In a decentralized network, you don't have this server, so you need every single entity of the network to do this job. Every peer in the network needs to have a full list with all the transactions to check if future transactions are valid, or an attempt to double spend. But how can these entities keep a consensus about these records? If the peers on the network disagree about one single minor balance, everything breaks. They need absolute consensus. Nobody knew how to achieve this until Satoshi proved it was possible. Crypto
Sorry, I had my mic off there. Wow. Well, so what I was saying is that Satoshi, he was the creator of Bitcoin. And to this day, nobody knows who Satoshi is. There is kind of rumors that he might have been... There we go. He might have been one of them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's a good thing that he kind of stayed private and behind the scenes, because the whole concept of cryptocurrency has been being anonymous. Not only being anonymous, but peer-to-peer, where there's no one person that actually controls the currency. So that way, it's faceless, but in a good way. So there's no control like our currency, like our fiat currency has today. Continuing.
These are a key part of the solution. To illustrate this, we'll look at the transactions on the network. A transaction is a file that says, Bob gives X Bitcoin to Alice and is signed digitally by Bob. Once signed, the transaction is broadcasted to the network, sent from one peer to every other peer. This is standard P2P technology. Nothing special happening here. After a specific amount of time, the transaction gets confirmed. Only miners can confirm transactions. This is their job in a cryptocurrency network. They take transactions, stamp them as legitimate, and spread them in the network. After a transaction is confirmed by a miner, every node has to add it to its database. It has to become part of the blockchain. For this job, the miners are rewarded with cryptocurrency, for example, bitcoins. Anybody can be a miner. They just need to use some of their computer's power to qualify for the task.
Now, for the record, if y'all are thinking, yeah, I'm going to go mine some Bitcoin. Yeah, good luck. This is like way back when, like back in maybe in its infancy days. Oh, you can mine Bitcoin like crazy. And actually, there's actually a famous story where somebody actually did the first Bitcoin transaction, and they basically bought 2 pizzas. And that's actually a famous story, because today that pizza would have cost him roughly $40,000. That's an expensive pizza. But anyway, continuing.
Every miner competes to solve a cryptographic puzzle. After finding a solution, a miner can confirm the transaction and add it to the blockchain. As an incentive to do this, they then receive a payment from the network in the form of a cryptocurrency. In this way, a network of independent actors are economically incentivized to maintain the legitimacy of the transaction history. So that's the gist of it. Cryptocurrencies are the key to the complex digital cash problem that Satoshi solved: how to maintain integrity and consensus across independent and potentially malicious actors. Cryptocurrencies are essentially the monetary incentive offered to anyone willing to keep the network secure.
So hopefully you guys actually learned something there. And just give me 1 second. I actually just found the story. And you know what? My apologies. I was completely wrong. So we're just going to kind of plug it in here. And this actually was the first purchase, which was actually done in 2010. And this person actually paid 10,000 Bitcoins. 10,000 Bitcoins for pizza. And this actually was done on May the 22nd. So, considering today, how much would these pizzas actually cost? So, let's see here. Give me 1 second. So, we're actually going to go here, and we're going to see how much good old Bitcoin is today. Where is it? Bitcoin price. So this is in Canadian dollars, actually. So in Canadian dollars, you're looking at $26,000. So, yeah. So let's get our good old calculator here. Where's my calculator at? So basically, $26,000 times what? 10,000? Yeah. Can I actually show this on the screen? Oh, hold on a second. You know what? Let me do it this way. No, I didn't want to do that. Hold on a second. Paste times 10,000. Yeah, that's how much. That's how much it would be worth today. Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure he didn't realize that it was going to, because back then, it was worth like nothing. And to be fair, it was actually really hard to find any sort of Bitcoin. Like, you couldn't, it wasn't accessible like it is today. So you had to be on some sort of computer form, or it was actually off a message board, I believe. So nobody knew it was actually going to amount to anything. So the funny thing is, the guy, where the pizza store actually took a risk. So if he was actually smart enough to keep that currency, then yeah, shout out to him. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah. But the guy who actually spent it, yeah. So the whole concept of cryptocurrency is it's peer-to-peer. So there's no middleman, there's no bank, there's nobody interfering. It's kind of like a digital bartering system, the way I kind of see it. But so Bitcoin has been around for a while. Certain institutions have been trying to get rid of it. They've been trying to bash it. They've been trying to crash it. They've been trying to do everything to get rid of it. But obviously, it's not going anywhere, because obviously other institutions, even banks who tried to get rid of it, ended up buying in. Yeah. So, that being said, there's no surprise that China decided to start their own currency. Yep. And ironically, this was actually, I believe this was before they ended up getting a lot of the Bitcoin miners out of China, because a lot of the miners, again, based on the video, the miners are the ones that actually verify the transactions. And by the way, it's very expensive and it's a high electric cost. And the difficulty rate to actually solve these mathematical equations are ridiculously high. Like, it's very, very, you have better odds winning the lottery at this point. So what ended up happening, China ended up getting rid of a majority of the Bitcoin miners. They ended up outlawing it. And then all of a sudden, they launched their currency. Of course they did. But here's the thing. Their digital currency is a little bit different. China's new digital currency comes with an expiry date for better and worse. I consider it worse. But this title is a little bit misleading, because actually it has the ability to have an expiry date. So let's get into the article here. As we enter the era of a digital programmable money, China has now started introducing money that expires and can be used to stimulate the economy or just make activists penniless. Yep. The Keynesian dream to boost the speed of money may finally come true after the Chinese government, the government, has announced it's exploring money with expiry dates using its prototype, central bank digital currency, CBDC, digital yuan, or yen, or DCEP, as a guinea pig in a move to literally means your money or the money you are given by the government will expire if not used in a certain time frame. And while this can be used to stimulate the economy, if combined with China's social credit score system, it could also mean that if you do not behave or meet certain criteria set by the government, your money could just expire. Yep, just expire if they want and let it, thereby giving you a new weird tool, or giving them a new weird tool to keep people in line, aka the digital leash. The digital yuan or yen is programmable to a point where the currency can be made to expire, thus focusing consumers to use up before a certain date. This is a twist on an obscure, unconventional monetary policy evolution known as G-cell currency, expiring money, which gives the issuing government a heightened degree of control over money volatility, aka how fast it's supplied and how fast it's spent. Now, I didn't realize this thing actually was here. So this was actually an experiment, it looks like. So this is based on an experiment, which actually was done by G-Cell. So apparently he was... Silvio G-Cell proposed a system of stamped money in order to accelerate monetary circulation and free money from interest. This is a part of a global socialist system intended to free economy from rent and interest. In the 1930s, Irving Fisher, who proposed the system to President Roosevelt, and John Keyes rendered homeless to Jen's monetary proposal in the complex of the Depression. Amongst the experiments that took place, several were based on his ideas, notably in the Austrian town of... Okay, so they tried this. And I don't know if it actually worked well. But the point is, who knows if this is going to work well? Like, the way I see it, honestly, if this actually goes through, which hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully, because, again, the title was a little bit misleading in the beginning here, because it says it actually... money that expires. Then again, this actually was done in May. But when you read further down, it says has the ability to have it expire. So it's a little bit misleading. So right now, I believe it doesn't expire, but it does have that ability. But the way I see it, the problem with that, it basically means that if you're thinking about having generational wealth, yeah, that's pretty much done. Yep. Yep. Sad to say. Sad to hear and sad to see. So if you think you're going to leave an inheritance to your children, to your offspring, for the next generation to start them off right, if something like this goes through in China, obviously it's going to go through for any country who decides to adopt this concept. Now, I know you guys heard this quote before, whoever's been paying attention. The quote, "You will own nothing and you will be happy." That's right. Now the problem is, again, if this goes through, we're pretty much... I don't know how society is gonna be after that. Anyway, continue with the article. So, DCEP is a digital version of the yuan, or yen. The reason I'm saying yuan or yen because some countries call it yuan and some people call it yen. So I'm trying to satisfy both sides of the spectrum here. China's physical currency and its legal tender in the country being used by a central bank. In a centralized system of the People's Bank of China would issue the DCEP to commercial banks against equivalent cash or bank deposits of the central bank. Commercial banks would then distribute the digital CEP to their clients. This can also be passed into intermediaries and handed out as well as a digital unit. As the digital unit resides in digital wallets, those apps will be authorized. So they're going to have a digital wallet. So again, people who are used to cryptocurrency where you store your actual keys in a digital wallet, it's going to be very similar to that. So reading on here, so we don't have to know about this here because this just kind of explains how the digital wallet goes. So why have money with an expiry date? Programmable money tied to real world identities and universally tracked by central bank is like a substitute for consumer of last resort. Every year that China gets richer, domestic consumption plays a bigger role. So they're talking about their GDP and whatnot here. If domestic consumption can be tightly controlled, then it's a way not to increase the volume of consumption, but to control the variance of demand of goods and services. So whatever China produces. Wow. I call it something else. Yep. For now, the digital yen doesn't live on the public ledger. It's controlled essentially by the authorities to be changed if and when political whims require such. So this is not controlled. So originally, and the way cryptocurrency is, and it clearly states right here as well, the DCEP is not peer-to-peer cryptocurrency, but rather requires the use of an official regulated financial intermediary. So basically, it's the opposite of cryptocurrency, they're trying to say. See, with crypto, there is no one entity controlling it. But this, and it clearly says right here, it is a currency where the discretionary money supply controlled entirely by the government. Yep. Now, here's an interesting part here as well. It also gives the Chinese government a new way to surveil the population, creating new data which can be tracked by authorities, which could also be especially useful as other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and further protection for user privacy. Now, this was actually created in theory to so-called compete/crush Bitcoin. But here's the thing, though. Okay, this is the thing about the expiry date. We're going to talk about that later. Where's my article? Sorry, I actually moved my article around. Oh, this actually was the one I'm looking for. My apologies. So, expiration date of digital yen could lead to Bitcoin explosion. So y'all that are smart and holding on to your Bitcoin, you may get a nice payout. And that actually was dated a few days ago. The new digital yen could make Bitcoin attractive. The absurd measure to make unused currency worthless may benefit Bitcoin. So again, talking about having the money expire. Bitcoin does not expire. Bitcoin is peer-to-peer. So whatever the media and whatever certain agencies decide to badmouth Bitcoin and try to tie it to certain questionable activities, Yeah, that was not the case. Let's continue with the article. Using its protocol, the central banking... Okay, we know about that already. That was in the article. The other article. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, sorry, I just don't want to reread the stuff that was in the other article. The design consists of a removal of a currency from a bank account users who have not used it at the time of the government supplements. Okay. This raises concern for the population, especially those who are opposed to the regime, and yet another artifact may be used to bring out total surveillance and control, which is actually true. Because here's the thing about having the digital yen, or the digital yuan. Because it has that tracking availability at its fingertips and can make this thing expire. Now, based on what I heard, and I did some research on it, and I was trying to find the article before making this video, but I wasn't able to find it. But it actually has an option embedded in it as well, where it actually could have geofencing in it. So, say, for instance, well, not necessarily geofence. Well, yeah, geofencing, but also it can actually prevent you from buying certain products. So, for example, if this was to happen in the U.S., in a certain state, I'm not going to name the state because I don't want to discriminate. If this was to happen in a certain state, and say a certain gender decided to fornicate with another gender and end up getting pregnant, they wouldn't be able to go to the store and buy Plan B. Because the wallet and the actual token / currency would not allow them to do it if the government does not want you to. Yep, they have control over your money. And another thing as well, you guys all probably all know about the whole trucking, convoy, the truckers' convoy that they had here in Canada several months ago. If the Canadian currency followed this trend, you know how easy would it be to cut off their money supply? Very easy. Very easy. So the thing is, this basically started kind of like as a test project, a test pilot. But this actually came out 2 days ago. Chinese banks are testing digital yen for cross-border settlements, which means it's not going to only be used in China anymore. So there's actually a few banks that are going to be jumping on this project as well. The multiple central bank digital currency bridge test developed by the BIS included China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and AUE. And it's designed to deliver real-time, cheaper, and safer cross-border payments and settlements. So it looks like this thing is going international. Yep. I don't like the way this is going, to be quite honest. I don't know how far it's going to go. But again, that term, you will own nothing and you will be happy, is kind of coming a little bit more into light. Yep. And I know what a lot of you guys are saying, that, oh, we're not going to go for it. We're not going to adopt it. Yeah, we're going to basically wave our hands up and say, no, we are not going to follow this regime. We are not going to do this if it hits North America. Do you really think you have a choice? Like, seriously?
Bruh.
No, you don't. Because you probably all said that when it came to debit cards and credit cards. Y'all said, no, I rather pay cash. Go anywhere today. Let me give you a scenario. Say if you decide to go to a ball game. It is postseason right now, and shout out to the Blue Jays. I believe they're in it. So there we go. Go to a ball game or go to a football game today. Try to buy any sort of snacks. Try to buy anything at the stadium. Try to pay cash. You know what will happen if you pull out your 20? They don't take cash. They'll say, Grandpa, we only take card. Well, they're not going to say like that, but if you go, even soon you enter in to the actual stadium, it literally says cashless transactions only. So all you guys out there, all you ladies, all you gentlemen who think you can deny if this actually was to happen, and you're going to say, no, I'm going to stick to cash, just think 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago, when you said, no, I ain't going to pay with my debit card. I don't need a debit card. I got cash. Good luck now. All I'm saying, guys, if you want my advice, be prepared. Because it's not a question of if this is going to happen and be widespread. The question is when. Now, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, but this is Money Monday, and this is a day I like to inform. I like to educate. And I think we all need education, and a lot of us need to wake up and realize what is around us, so that way we can be prepared. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm not trying to scare anybody. Of course not. That's not what I do. But at the end of the day, sometimes we have to go with the trends. The best thing you could do is be prepared. Now, you guys think it's not going to hit North America, do you? You think it's just going to be international, eh? Well, I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Central bank money refers to the money that is a liability of the central bank. In the United States, we are currently two types of central banks: physical currency issued by the Federal Reserve and digital balances held by commercial banks in the Federal Reserve. So, you guys are probably wondering, what the hell does that even mean? Well, they are going to actually be coming out with what they call the Fed coin. Yep, they are coming out with the Fed coin, and I believe it's coming out next summer. Just give me 1 second here. I'm just pulling this up for you guys, because I thought I had it in my tab, but I actually didn't have it in my tab, so I'm going to pull it up for you guys right now. And there we go. Federal Reserve's FedNow real-time payments set for mid-2023 debut. The Federal Reserve has tightened its window on the launch of the FedNow instant payments platform between May and July 2023. According to the press release, FedNow will open to financial institutions of any size, allowing them to facilitate instant payments for consumers and businesses, giving them intermediate funds. And the platform, currency platforms phase and organizations. I'm just trying to show where it actually talks about digital. But basically, this is what it is. And actually, there's a video here, I believe. Hold on a second. You know what? Let's go back. And we're going to play the video. I'll let the video do the talking, because y'all don't believe me. So, By the way, fair use. Fair use.
The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency.
Welcome back. Time to check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk's The State of Crypto newsletter. Good morning, Nick. So we've got the Federal Reserve's FedNow real-time payment set for mid-2023 debut. Tell me all about it.
Good morning. Yeah, so FedNow has been this project that's been in the works for quite a while now, several years at least. And the idea is that the Federal Reserve can create a much faster and more efficient system for payments than what is currently in place. The idea being that this will make it easier for folks who do not currently have access to financial services to perhaps gain access to financial services, as well as to just kind of streamline and make the actual transaction processes a bit more efficient and a bit easier for folks to interact with.
And does this have a crypto element? I mean, are they building on some sort of blockchain technology?
No, absolutely not. No, this is they've been working on this, I think, separately. I think it's one of those interesting things where it's like, yeah, these are the same goals that much of the crypto world, purports to have, but they are coming at this from a different architecture. So this is...
No, they're not. Now, the reason why and here's my theory, and again, this is allegedly, the reason why they're not rolling out right now, because they're watching and studying what is going on here and what is going on here. They want to see what is going to happen. This is a test pilot, which is why they haven't released theirs yet. They want to see how it's going to go. Now, where's my video? There we go.
This is, for example, unrelated to any of the central bank digital currency work that we're hearing from the Boston Fed. This is its own project, its own entire thing.
All right. Meanwhile, we've got stablecoin Tether dismissing a Wall Street Journal report.
Okay, so anyway. And the reason why he's saying, though, and let me be clear here, the reason why he's actually saying is that it doesn't have to do with crypto, because crypto is considered peer-to-peer. And again, let me go back to the article here. And it clearly states it right here. And this is actually based on the China one, as the Chinese one as well. The DCEP is not peer-to-peer cryptocurrency, but rather requires the use of an officially regulated financial intermediaries. Does that sound a little bit familiar to this? If you really break it down, and you read this here, this is quite similar to what this is. Now, for y'all having your heads in the sand and thinking it's not going to hit North America, oh, no. Whatever happens in China is not going to come here. You are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. Again, this is just a short snippet here. But if you read the details of this, it is quite similar to the details of this. Now, do I find it a bad thing? I'd rather not comment, because you never know. Yeah, I know I'm playing this effect quite frequently, this video, but you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the back end that we don't know about. And I knew it was only going to be a matter of time, because every financial institution tried to get rid of Bitcoin. They tried talking bad about it. It didn't work. And you know the term that we used to hear as a kid? If you can't beat them, join them. That's when financial institutions decide to buy into Bitcoin. But they didn't buy into Bitcoin because just for the sake of buying it, because they figure, you know what, it's a great idea. It can basically replace fiat. No. The reason why is because they wanted to study it and see how it works, see how it functions in society in order to create their own. And again, this is all alleged. Alleged, but if you really followed the breadcrumbs, it kind of does make sense, doesn't it? And once you have that, then you're gonna have this. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and my life, life has never been better. Yup. We are here. And, well, we may not be here now, but the way I see it, we're kind of getting close. Now, this was written by a contributor. So, this is a shout out to Forbes. This is actually written in Forbes. This was actually in 2016. So this is an older article, but if you actually read through it, it does kind of seem, it does kind of ring true even today. So we're going to read a little bit of this article. Welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say our city. This sounds like some sounds like some woke Gen Z-ish. But let me not prejudge. Let us read on. We'll give it a chance. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. Wait, what? So what are you doing? Walking around nude? It may seem odd to you. Yes, it does. But it makes perfect sense to us in this city. Everything you considered a product has now become a service. We're kind of going that way right now, aren't we? Okay, yes, we're not talking about that sort of stuff today. Today's Money Monday. Let's stay on topic. But I know you're all thinking that. Y'all fellas are probably thinking that right now, even though we're talking about a digital leash. Y'all thinking about something else. Anyway, let's continue. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. One by one, all these things became free, so it ended up not making sense for us to own much. First, communication became digitized and free to everyone. Then, when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price. It made no sense for us to own cars anymore, because we could call a driveless vehicle or flying car for longer journeys within minutes. What is this person smoking? We started transporting ourselves in much more organized and coordinated way when public transport became easier, quicker, and more convenient than the car. Now I can hardly believe that we accepted congestion and traffic jams, not to mention the air pollution from combustion engines. What were we thinking? You don't want to know what I'm thinking right now. Sometimes I use my bike when I go to see some friends. Do you own this bike, ma'am? Because apparently you said you own nothing. I enjoy the exercise and the ride. It kind of gets the soul to come along. What? It kind of gets the soul to come along the journey. What? Funny how some things seem never seem. What? Funny how some things never seem to lose their excitement. What? Who wrote this? Walking, biking, cooking. I guess this person doesn't own a dictionary. Boy. Walking, biking, cooking, drawing, and growing plants. I wonder what kind of plants you're growing. It makes perfect sense and reminds us of how our culture emerged out of close relationship with nature. How long is this article? Oh God, there's a lot here. This is quite entertaining, but believe it or not though, this actually might be our future. If this keeps up. But let's see how Fantasyland is going here. I'm sorry, I just had to. Okay, anyway, where was I? Okay, here we are. In our city, we don't pay any rent because someone else is using our free space whenever we don't need it. This sounds like a commune, or you're homeless. My living room is used for business meetings when I am not there. Oh God. What in the love of cheese is this? Once in a while, I will choose to cook for myself. It is easy. The necessary kitchen equipment is delivered to my door within minutes. There's a lot of delivery going on. Is the delivery free as well? Since transport became free, oh, there's my answer. We stopped having all those things stuffed in our homes. Why keep a pasta maker and a crepe cooker cramped in our cupboards? We can just order them when we need them. We also made the breakthrough of the circular economy easier. When products are turned into services, no one has an interest in things with a short lifespan. Everything is designed for durability, repairability, and recyclability. The materials are flowing more quickly in our economy and can be transformed into new products pretty easily. Environmental problems seem far away since we only use clean energy and clean production methods. The air is clean, the water is clean, and nobody would dare to touch the protected areas of nature because they constitute such value in our well-being. What is this, some Avatar-ish? In the cities, we have plenty of green space and plants and trees all over. I still do not understand why the past we filled up free spots in the city with concrete. How much more is there? Oh, there's not that much more. Shopping, I can't really remember what this is. For most of us, it has been turned into choosing things to use. Sometimes I can find this fun. And sometimes I just want the algorithm to do it for me. Oh, boy. It knows my taste better than I do now. Oh, God. Wow. When AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had time to eat well, sleep well, and spend more time with other people. Yeah, this sounds like some Terminator-ish before these guys here decide to take over your ass. Oh my God. Whatever this person is smoking, it must be some strong stuff. And again, somebody wrote this. Somebody imagined this. Or I don't know if this is actually, I don't know. Where am I? The concept of rush hour makes no sense anymore since the work that we do can be done at any time. I don't really know how I would call it work anymore. It is more like thinking time, creation time, and development time. That sounds like some wage cage-ish. For a while, everything was turned into an entertainment, and people did not want to bother themselves with difficult issues. It was only the last minute that we found out how to use all these new technologies for better purposes than just killing time. We're almost done, guys. My biggest concern is all the people who do not live in our city. Those we lost along the way. Yeah, I'm guessing those who didn't comply. Those who decided it became too much, it's all this technology. Those who felt obsolete and useless when the robots and AI took over big parts of our jobs. You guys heard this, right? Took over our jobs. Those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. Yes, political system and turned against it. They live different kinds of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities. Others just stayed in the empty and abandoned houses in small 19th century villages. So I'm guessing these are the people who didn't want to comply. Once in a while, I get annoyed about the fact that I have no real privacy. Nowhere I can go and not be registered. See, this is where the tracking comes in. I know that somewhere, everywhere, everything I do, things and dream is recorded. Hello. I just hope no one will use it against me. All in all, it's a good life. Much better than the path we were on. When it became so clear that we could not continue with the same model of growth. Again, you will own nothing and you will be happy like this individual here. We had all these terrible things happening: lifestyle, disease, climate change, the refugees crisis, environmental degradation, completely congested cities, water pollution, air pollution, social unrest, and unemployment. We lost way too many people before we realized that we could do things differently. Wow. This blog was written ahead of the World Economic Forum. Guys, this may seem ridiculous, and I know I'm poking a lot of fun, and it does seem delusional, but to be fair, we may be going this way. It's scary, isn't it? Scary times, isn't it? That's why, honestly, I'm going to go full screen for a second here. Oh, that's why, honestly, and I'm standing here. This is how important it is. I'm not even sitting in my chair right now. Think ahead, guys, because it is not a question of if this is going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. If they're testing these things out right now, and the U.S. is watching, and you clearly heard what the guy was saying, this has nothing to do with crypto. All y'all saying, oh, no, it's not crypto, we're good. Crypto is considered peer-to-peer. And clearly by the article here, it clearly states, and I know I'm saying clearly a lot, but I'm trying to emphasize what I'm saying here. This digital currency is not peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Rather, it requires the use of an officially regulated financial intermediaries. And right here, again, while Americans have long held money predominantly in a digital form, for example, bank, payments, blah, 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 right here, see? Right here. The CBDC would differ from an existing digital money available to the general public because the CBDC would be a liability of the Federal Reserve, not the commercial bank. So basically, Federal Reserve is the big guns, the big boys. Guys, we're here. We're pretty much here, guys. So the only thing I can actually recommend, to be fair, again, I'm not trying to fearmonger. This is all alleged, but the way this thing is going and the direction it's going, the only recommendation I can give you, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, and again, this is alleged. If I were you all, I would just be prepared. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. It is not if this is going to happen. It's only the question of when. So be prepared, guys. Be prepared. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I know. Yep, this is definitely a different Money Monday than it was the last one. But you know what? I felt that I had to make a video on this because just to prepare all you guys. Because a lot of you guys don't even know. Some of you out there don't even know what cryptocurrency is. So we are definitely going in a digital age. And the best thing to do is to just be prepared. Unfortunately, we're going to have to embrace this. The same way we embraced credit cards and debit cards. And cash is going cashless. Eventually, this is going to happen. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. I will see you guys. Good old Tuesday. We got a quite an interesting topic for Tuesday, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Y'all have to tune in for that one. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, and to check out our more recent uploads, check here on the top left, and to check out our playlist, check here on the top right. And make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and also check out our Quick Hits channel, which is also located down below for our more bite-sizable content. I'll see you guys in the next one.